Welcome to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Morocco. The ACIO has a long history of helping humanity from the deep recesses of time. This is the first time the ACIO has become available to the public, aside from an earlier visitation by their 15th Division, the Wingmakers. Peter the Insider, originally from Slovakia, is the director of their 12th Division, and Jessica Arael Morocco is in Cicada 3301, their 6th Division. Together, they provide intel, insights on current events, a deeper perspective on aliens and UFOs, super soldier missions with Unit 374 in the Merge, and news relevant for disclosure. Don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our latest intel and post any questions and comments below.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We have Peter the Insider with us, and so welcome to Disclosures. We're going to have a good show. Peter has new information that we haven't talked about yet, and it's something that's just starting to happen. So just to keep everyone up to date with what's going on, we like to continue to do shows and inform the public. So thanks for being here. Okay, so Peter, how are you doing? And why don't you give us an update? Tell us what's going on.
So thank you hello Jessica, thank you very much for giving me another opportunity to be here. And actually this will be kind of weird show because this will be about, or this should be about, discontinuous, that
discontinuity,
yep. And dyssynchronicity, what is going on, and what was, how can I say it, what happened here. And the question is, how in the first place, how in the world such a crap can occur, can happen in such a small period of time? Because, you know, for certain people, it's like, okay, on Earth, because Earth is big. No, Earth is small planet. Like it or not, Earth is small planet, okay? In comparison with another planets where intelligent life forms are. So I don't want to call them ETs, you know, because some people are allergic to term ETs. And so in the first place, in short period of time, and in second place, in certain parts of the world, right? And what is going on are pretty much very big anomalies, okay? That means there are cracks and all kind of that stuff. So pretty much you are here and there, and then you just drive down the road, down the street, and there is a crossroad, right? And then there is no crossroad anymore. Bye bye. There is a Carrefour, right? And it's like, okay, what does it mean? It's a network of shops. No. It's not only network of shops. It is Carrefour. It's pretty much the French name for crossroad. And you are like, okay, what does it mean? So you are in US, for example, and you just make a turn in crossroad, and bam, you are in France. It happened a lot of times, just by the way. Then people have been in Canada, and somehow they ended up what it was? I think it was in Porto, not port, but Porto. That means ancient city, very nice city in Portugal, and something like that. Sorry, my bad. Vancouver, Canada. And this crossroad versus careful case, it happened being in Seattle, and then it was like in Marseille, something like that, and all kind of that kind of crazy dyssynchronicities, let's say cracks, happened. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the problem, that this phenomenon is something what we need to get used to. Okay?
Why?
No, because everything, long story short, EM frequency, my bad, electromagnetic frequency, that means not frequency like all over the place in the world, but in certain parts of, on the world, how can I say that correctly, like okay, I got it. You have radio signal, right? But in different part of the, not of the world, my bad, same radio in different part of the, I don't know, city. Once it is big city, big enough city, I don't know, in US, for example, or in Europe, a different part of, I don't know, district or something like that. The same radio has different frequency, right? But try to guess what will happen if it will be the same stuff, but vice versa. Same frequency, but the different place. You know what I mean? And that's the stuff. You are getting, and you are narrowing the frequency. It is like you are running, for example. I don't want to say running fast, but I don't know, like making your training like early morning run, like 3-4 times per week, and there is just a little bit, one piece of problem. You don't know that there is edge of the cliff. Do you know what I mean, right? And try to guess what happened. You will not fall down to the cliff. And they are like, those people like, what the heck is going on? Shh, you just disappear. You didn't fall down to the ravine, okay? And try to guess why. Because in the edge of the cliff, there is, quotes in quotes, same frequency portal. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem. That's the problem. It is pretty much like it was what it was once they started 3G, like third G cell phone, mobile phone technology, and the transmitters were not prepared for that. It was just a theory, okay? Just the calculations and all kind of that stuff, and try to guess what happened. And in a very, let's say, pioneering time, like say first few months, let's say 2, 3, 4 months, and it happened all over the place, all over the world, okay? People can hear each other, and many of our listeners will be like, okay, it was like that, or it should be like that. No. You can hear another people talking. Know what I mean? You will call, and there can be 3, 5, or 10 calls, separate calls, and you can hear them. You know what I mean? And it's the same goddamn crazy case, okay? And this is happening.
It's like the old-fashioned phones where you could hear other people talking when you were talking, like that.
Yes, pretty much. But this was like this. Give me a
Like
second.
a
Yes, this is
crossover
the.
or an interference
Yes,
of the
yes,
signals.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because transmitters and transceivers were not fully appropriately tested for this technology. Yeah, 3G is now I don't want to say outdated, but it's old. It's normal. But at the time, once it was new, it was a big deal, okay? Because it was pretty much like, okay, there is fast internet. Give me a second. At the time, okay? Give me a second. At the time. And all kind of that stuff. And mainly it was because of data, okay? Like how can I say that? Like the calls, the voice pretty much was digital. First time it was digital. And then voice over LTE, aka 4G, it was 100% digital. So they ran out of problems like voice over LTE. But this was just a parallel, just an example. And this is
Yes.
exactly what is going on. And I am kind of in discomfort. I'm absolutely out of my comfort zone because crazy things are happening, and we need to say who is behind this. Try to guess, Jessica, who is behind this? Huh? Try to guess.
Well, we've talked about the scalar use that was up in Alaska area.
Yep. Give me a second. You mean what it is?
That whole farm or
HIRP. Yeah. I know. Yeah,
yep.
you are right, but give me a second. Pretty much, Monarch in a cooperation with Mobius, they want to save and restart the matrix, or because technically they know that the old fashioned matrix as they know, or pretty much as we not knew, because it never will be like that again, thank God. They try to build something new, something, I don't want to say modern, but let's say something similar, but okay, they are fighting like for lives, okay? Like, no, it is no joke. Like it or not, it is no joke. And those kind of craziness, next level craziness is going on all over the world. They are opening and closing portals like random. Do you know what I mean? They were at the time, like in between 2004, 5, 6 to 2012, 13, there were those crazy chats, like chat services you registered, and it was just random. Do you know what I mean? So something like that, like random stuff and all kind of. Just by the way, Omegle. Do you know what is Omegle? I think I need to write this.
Write that down.
Omegle.
So
This service was shut it down like 2-3 days ago or 4 days ago. I don't know. Because technically it was heavily misused by pedophiles, you know. Heavily, and I mean heavily misused, you know. Yep. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
8
a
November,
free
my bad.
web-based online chat. Okay.
But give me a second, this is it. It was random, okay? That's the stuff. Random. That was the basic, how can I say it? Like the basic principle of it, you know?
This is the founder right here, Keith K. Brooks, and it's Vermont.
Yeah, and what is this about Vermont?
Well, it's just north of me. A lot of weird things go on in Vermont. That in Maine. They have a lot of time in their hand because it's always cold there. They have a longer winter. So that's him right there. Originally he was from Seattle, sounds like. Or maybe he's in Seattle now.
And that's kind of the stuff, okay?
Yeah, well, I wanted to show you something, Peter. So we've talked about this before, having these weird
but give me a second. This
electromagnetic
gets tremendous amounts of like, it is absolutely out of control in last few weeks. Absolutely, like, holy crap.
This site right here. So we're going to get back to this site because I have something I want to share regarding this.
Okay.
Is we're going to get back to the electromagnetic field that you said is being affected, and I was noticing pictures like this. This is in Krakow, Poland. I thought it's extremely red.
What is definitely not, or let's say it should not be like that, okay, in Krakow, just by the way, because it is very southern to, you know, solar, I'm crazy, northern,
the northern lights are
polar cycle, because, you know, pretty much it's not so far. Krakow, it is called Kraków in Polish. It is not so far northern from Slovak borders. Just by the way, I am Slovak. I know that. I know this. I know this.
And look how bright it is.
Yeah, I know.
Like as if it was at the core.
Jessica, and this is it. This is not polar light, okay? This is the portal. You know? The portal.
Here's another one. This is in Norway. Look at that. What the heck is that, Peter?
That I'm saying. Those are the portals. Because look, so many people believe, nah, it's just a polar light and blah blah. Nope, it is not. They are portals, and people don't believe that.
Here's another one. These are, I mean, this is crazy stuff, right, Peter? This is also in Norway. Look how pink it is.
Look. Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, breathtakingly beautiful, but is this normal? Is this natural for our
Nope.
Electromagnetic field?
And
you said that they're trying to destroy.
Give me a second. Technically, it is natural once it is electromagnetic. Problem is, it is not nature phenomenon. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's being affected by, oh, sorry, I have to shut that because I don't want to get a copyright issue but yeah, I mean, look it's, like I said, usually I'm used to seeing these green and purpley colors, but not that bright red or that hot pink color, which I find unusual. And so that's like in this region right here, but like the other one in particular, like, look at that, those colors. I don't remember seeing that so much. I mean, unless I'm wrong, I mean, I don't live in that area, but I try to talk to someone about it and see if this was unusual to them. And, you know, so here we are, you know, trying to talk about all of this. Oh, and so then you bring up this group that is up in this Omegle web-based online chat group.
Because it was shut down, you know.
And why did they shut it down?
You know, because it was more than 50 lawsuits or 60 in like 4 or 5 countries all over the world and something like that. Like child abuse and all kind of that stuff, you know.
Chat services scrutiny grows. Yep, let me see if I can find another article. There's multiple articles on it.
I'm just saying, it is so crazy. Isn't it?
Yeah, they're all using the same picture. So it looks like I'm just clicking the same article, but I'm not. This is NPR, but I hate to use their abused victims lawsuit.
No, I told you.
Well, I want to share something else too while we're at it. It's a documentary that just came out.
That's kind of crazy documentary, yeah. I know what you mean.
This is from Netflix. It's called Cyberbunker, and it's similar. I mean, it looks like they had all sorts of different servers and people were doing a lot of stuff from the dark web. And these people, I apparently went to jail, but it all happened within, like the past couple of years that they started to get arrested and have some of these other problems. But they were originally from the Netherlands. So now this one guy that you just showed me from Omegle, he was living in Vermont, and this one was over in the Netherlands. And then they got an old bunker and then went down into that bunker and were had this huge system there. I mean, the documentary is pretty descriptive about some of the things that were going on there, and it's all essentially the dark web. So
yeah, pretty much most times you can get the drugs on dark web. You can get specific inappropriate content of underage people, so we know what we are talking about. Yeah, yep. weapons too. Yeah. What it is? Black market with organs. Human organs, human trafficking for all kind of crazy purposes. But what is absolutely out of my mind, they are also called red rooms. Do you know what the red rooms are? Well, red rooms are pretty much the room, or it is a room. It's alive, and people vote how another people should be killed, and they get the money for that. You need to have money, like pretty much like in a bet, or like playing online casino or something like that. And do you know what I mean? The stakes are higher and all kind of that stuff. And many people don't believe that red rooms are real. Problem is they are real. Yeah.
Well, that's unique. Interesting you said that, because
they are unique. Let's say they are seldom, but the problem is that they exist.
There was a person that you and I know that told me we did a regression, and he literally saw himself in a red room.
Yeah, I know.
So that's.
But pretty much, let's go back to those portals. Those portals are all over the place, and our reality starts to. I mean, yes, it started collapsing, but now it is like, holy crap. Yeah,
Well,
I don't like the
this
whole.
reminds me. It reminds me of what they call the Great Reset. So is this what they're talking about, the elite, when they want to do this Great Reset? Is it what Monarch and Mobius are doing?
Look how many protests are all over the place, like for what? Oh, I mean, all over the world. I'm calling it like all over the place, my bad. For what? Like 5 years? They are calling it yellow vests or orange vests protests.
Yeah, that's over in France.
But give me a second. It started. Let's say most people or most mainstream media dealt with those protests, but they are all over the world. Or let's say most advanced countries in the world. It is pretty much like, I don't know, it was war in Ukraine. Now, try to guess what happened. Just like that. And now pretty much nobody is talking about like that, about war in Ukraine. And nobody, my bad. Mainstream. And now they start to talk about world in Gaza Strip, in Palestine, and all kind of that stuff. And why in the world nobody is talking about like more than 9 years is war in Syria, in Yemen, in what it is. It's 20 years ongoing war, just by the way, in what it is, in Iraq, 22 years in Afghanistan, in Sudan. It is what, like since April or May or something like that this year. And that's the stuff. They exist, those wars exist, but nobody is talking about them. My bad, nobody in mainstream. Wars all over the Latin, so that means Middle and South America, Latin America, and nobody's talking about it. Pretty much all over the place in Africa were wars. Either civil or wars between states. Crazy civil war in Burma. I'm calling it Burma because Myanmar is crazy words to pronounce. Yeah. So it is. You know what I mean? It is not. And I am not saying that those people, either in Ukraine or in Palestine or in Gaza, are not suffering. Yeah. But it is unfair to another parts of the world that mainstream is not talking about it. I'm just saying,
It's as if it's not a part of their agenda.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Then no one is going to focus on it, and they want to direct where people are looking. I mean, this looks really bad, doesn't it? Look at that.
I can't see anything.
I thought I was sharing screen. Okay, here. I'm going to start showing.
Okay.
This is Sudan.
Yeah.
This is Syria.
This is what?
This
yeah,
is the
Syria.
yellow. This is yellow vest
protests. Yep.
This is Palestine. What happened in London?
Where it was Sudan?
No, it's London.
Where it was Sudan?
Hold on. Sudan.
Look, isn't this crazy? I know a lot of good people from Sudan and pretty much South Sudan, and it is like they are hopeless. They don't know because what to do, because your country is pretty much upside down. They lost everything. Jesus. there is this guerrilla war, or I don't know how can I say it, guerrilla, that means like small units, do you know what I mean, very well organized, no kind of that stuff. It is so crazy and nobody is talking about it. But yeah, that's kind of it is decades, as they wrote, decades of conflicts. And Myanmar, holy crap, this is that is crazy. That is crazy too. They wrote it is over. I don't believe it is over. No, in Myanmar it is not over. It is still going on. Or isn't it? In Myanmar, that's a question.
Yeah, look at that. I don't know if it said it was over, but
no, in Wikipedia, you know, I don't know what it is in a.
Oh, we'll take a look.
Yeah.
What they say. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, it's saying to present.
Yeah.
That's so it's still going on. Yeah.
And this is it. I'm just saying, you know, that it is unfair to those and other parts of the world and dozens of millions of people, you know. I'm just saying, you know.
So
and by the way, most of those wars are or it is consequence of bleed truths from bad realities. Or let's say discontinued, and this is it, not like discontinued realities like they stop to exist, but it is like cracks in the cracks and discontinuous within discontinuous in the same reality, and then realities start to bleed through over the I don't know how of them, and then somehow they get into the interference get in perfect coherence. That means ping, it is perfectly fine, but fine for their sake. That means like, oh my god, this is bad. And the multiple contexts of existence and timelines and realities created, because I was in some missions like that, like let's call it nightmare context of existence, nightmare reality or so. And I'm like, holy crap, it is like, okay, this is the worst punishment in the this is the worst nightmare. Okay, you don't need to get in the prison in this reality or context of existence. It will be prison itself, just to be there, to live there, you know. And blade roots from those realities, from those contexts of existence, once they are here, or let's say they saw here, you know, that's it. Those wars, that's it. It's a bleed root.
So that's what creates the World War 3 or 4 or what have you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because pretty much so many people believe like, yeah, pandemic was like some sort of start. I want to say, for me, it was Arabic Spring, pretty much. Like it was a edge of spring and summer 2010, when Arabic Spring began, you know. Then, of course, this crazy nightmare year 2014, when it was what, like Syria, Yemen, what else do we have? Yeah, this kind of separatists in Donbass, so very eastern part of Ukraine, Crimea, and so on. nightmare year 2014. Yellow vest protests, they started in the edge in late autumn, aka fall for people living in US, 2018. Then pandemic and all and on and on and on. Then Ukraine, war in Ukraine and all kind of that stuff, you know. Then now war in what it is in Israel / Palestine / Gaza Strip. So I'm just saying, do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
These are all the different ones that have happened in 2014. So there was a major bleed through in 2014, and then once again now.
It is nightmare. So my bad. It was a nightmare year. So from my point of view, World War III, it is like not just like that, like it was World War II or something like that, or Second World War, like not 1939. And I don't want to fool you if it was either 1936 or 1937. By many historians, they are saying that Japan invaded Manchuria. It is part of China, and I don't want to fool you if they invaded it in like 1935 or 1936, 1937, something like that. So many historians are saying that that was official start of Second World War. Yeah, despite most people didn't knew that. Just by the way, okay, because pretty much the first part of very first invasion, Japanese invasion to Manchuria, it was like in very early 30s or 1931, 1932, something like that, right? If you go open a wiki page, you can do that, like Japanese invasion to Manchuria, and you will see that. Okay, so many historians are saying that was the real start of Second World War. Okay, but most people consider real start of Second World War only 1939. Sorry, I can't speak.
There it is.
Yeah, how it was. Yeah, as I said, 1939.
31 to 1932.
But give me a second. It was like the basic, the first, okay? The first one. And second one, as you said, 1937.
Here it is, Peter. Yeah, 1939.
Yeah. This is what I said.
It's interesting because you talk about the Korea, they bring in Korea, and I saw there was this wife of someone I know, and and I was talking to this couple, right? And the wife wasn't really open to it, and she was Korean. But I said I could see China is oppressing you, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. So do you think that it's residual? Maybe there was portals around her.
It can be like that. So this is it. What I said, it was 1937. Yeah, I wasn't sure either 1936 or 7. So this is it. This should be the official start of Second World War. But pretty much the very basics of invasion was 1931, as we can read here. This is it. What I said.
But that didn't actually show up as the start of the World War II. What was the cause of? How did the history books usually record the start of World War II?
Yeah, but many historians, especially in like last 10, maybe 15 years, recognized, or let's say they start to agree that really for real, it should be July 7th. Okay, 1937, and it is kind of easy to remember date because it's all kind of the stuff, all kind. Do you know what I mean? 777. Yep.
Lasts
Yeah.
from 1939 to 1945.
Yeah, that's the
Global
problem.
conflict.
Yeah,
Opposing military alliances and allies and axis. So they blame it on, they didn't say it started in China and Japan. They say it started in Europe, right?
but give me a second. I know that, but it's not like that. Just by the way.
No, I understand that. Well, like I said, they pick and choose how they want to frame our history, and to them, this is
just by the way, it wasn't completely Japanese controlled army. It was like in Japan. Japan has some sort of, I don't want to say independent army, but it was so crazy at that time. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And so this is how they define World War II.
Yeah,
is
you're right.
The Axis fighting, and what was that last one? It looked like it was in where is this?
In
Finland? Is that Finland or?
Yeah, it's in Finland. Yeah. You are right. It's Finland. Yeah, it is as you said. It is pretty much like how they want to define history. It is not how it was, but how they want to define history. It is literally as you said. Yeah.
And the damage that it does. Look at the damage of some of the cities. Like we see everything built up right now, but it was a mess, wasn't it, Peter? I mean, things were just torn down. Look at that. That's horrible. Yeah, horrible, killing and of course then we know how then it.
But I will tell something what you will not like. For one thing, it was good. And you are like, what the heck are you talking about? People how can I say it correctly? They really appreciate peace. Okay? You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, that generation that went through it really understands and they don't want to see an apocalypse. They don't want to see a major war. They saw what it did.
Yeah, people really appreciate, they valued they respect certain principles. And people here, right now, yes, in certain parts of the world where peace it's not that kind of something normal, they knew. But for most parts of the world, people are just way too lazy, to be perfectly honest. They are just lazy, and because they have plenty and they don't understand things, or let's say basic things.
It's not that they're lazy. It's just I think the younger generation grew up with video games, so they're experiencing war where it's not affecting them. So they
but
can.
Give me a second. I will tell you something. Talking about video games, yeah, they are like, oh my god,
Or
Insider
movies.
Insider is talking about video games again. Do you know what is crazy? I know, or let's say I knew. Yeah, I was stupid at that time because it was like I had no clue that I will be chosen for specific missions and all kind of that stuff. But I was like, okay, I will fight for something and for somebody, against something and against somebody. Do you know what? Those young guys, young boys, but yeah, they are boys because they are like what, 20, 22, 23, 25 or so. They really believe it is not a war. It is some sort of simulation. It is literally like computer video game, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Don't do that. You can be hit and you will die. And they don't understand that. They really play it like a video game. They believe war is real war, okay? Being in the front is a video game. Just slapped to the mind. It is bullshit, and I will not watch my language because I will tell you what it is, okay? Russian, aka former Soviet mine. It has 5 feet, aka 150 centimeters, less than 5 feet. And American has 4 feet. It is a string. How can I say it? Wire, right? And if you clap on that with your feet, it is just I don't want to say it's a millisecond or something, and there is how can I say it, mechanism, and you will trigger the mechanism. The mechanism will get out. It literally shoot out, and bam, your I don't know, leg is gone or something like that. And not like this shit in the movies or TV shows, like you can stand on mine. No, it's bullshit. You can't, okay? And those guys believe that. You know what I'm trying to say? You can't. As I said, Soviet, aka Russian mines, 150 centimeters, American 120 centimeters, 130 centimeters or so. There is a wire, you know, and then, and it is just a millisecond. There is no time left. Do you know what it's immediate, you know? It is just a trigger.
Or no one has the reflexes to get around that.
No. There is zero chance, like zero chance, okay? And just by the way, if there is a strategic part, Americans are doing crazy crap that they've got patterns for getting mines. But once it is strategic, they burn it. So even themselves don't know the pattern, how can I say it, how to walk. Do you know what I mean? How to walk, not to get on the mine. Once it is too strategic. Soviets, aka Russians, till today, they never do that. They never burn the plants. Do you know what I mean? How to walk. Americans are doing that. But they were not like that first time. British, they start to do so during Second World War. You know, it was crazy. And those young guys, they believe it is just a Call of Duty or Battlefield.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Even these, like the younger generation thinks it'd be really cool to live in a dystopian society. So they have all these shows, these movies, everyone's interested in what it would be like. And oh, I'd be the one that can survive that. There's so many different things that could go wrong in a situation like that. Just, you know, everyone dying just from radiation or whatever else, or the dirty bombs or whatever else was happening there, and then the breakdown of the system where the food source.
But give me a second, pretty much, what do you think? How many veterans are suffering radiation sickness? 70-80%, and I will tell you why.
All right, yeah.
Why? Do you know why? Because the shells, like, let's say, tank destroying shells, are having, or let's say they contains depleted, my bad, uranium. So radiation sickness, like it or not, like 70, 80, even 90% veterans, I mean, depending of conflict and era and period of time and so forth, they are suffering this crap. Yep. PTSD, holy crap, this is next level NLS, you know. Next level shoot. What is it? Post-traumatic stress disorder, you know. Holy crap.
I had a good friend that she was a professor at MIT, and she collaborated and wrote a book regarding that, and the military actually called her in to have that discussion and how to help, and then she came to me. She asked me to help her come up with some ideas. It's a very serious issue, because I mean, I've been working with people for a long time myself. But
but I'm just frustrated by that they absolutely don't understand the whole crap. They have zero clue. They don't understand that. No, and they will break. Yeah. They will lose their mind. I mean, like, not. Do you know what I mean? He or she lose her or his mind and blah blah blah. It is not like saying something for fun. It is literally, they get crazy. Somebody just blow his or her head with the pistol or something like that, you know. No, it is like that because they don't understand that.
It's something in the mind when you watch a lot of violence, or you know, that's why the young kids
give me a second, Jessica, please. I strongly disagree with you. Watch a lot of violence is one thing, okay? But be in the middle, in the center of that, and live.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly.
Give me a second. You said watch. You said watch.
You didn't let me finish, so that's because I didn't get to finish what I was saying. But yes, okay. They start by watching, and so in their mind, there's no pain associated with it. So you and I, right? So when we were kids, you'd go out running around, and if you decided to ride your bike over a ledge or something, or like of a steep area, or down the stairs or something crazy, you felt that pain. You thought, well, maybe I'm not going to do that again. You know, I mean, just like, or jumping out of a tree or whatever, right? The kids in this generation, they're so protected and isolated that, and some of them might be angry at me when I say this, but you guys didn't do stuff that we did.
Stop not being angry. You are just saying the truth. What the heck?
But some of them feel like, yeah, there are kids that, you know, go out there and do a lot of physical activity, and some of them do. But what happens with the video games is you spend hours and hours and hours playing video games, and you're a shooter, and then all of a sudden in your mind you think, I can work a gun. You feel like really confident, and that's how they're triggering. That's how they're triggering people to go out and be shooters, and they know how to. There's a disconnect from the working with whatever's happening on the internet, or whether it's a movie or whether it's video games, and you get very immersive, and you lose touch with what that actually feels like. It's a whole different experience. There's a huge amount of the experience that is being left out from the game, although you're sort of having an idea, but you can go very deeply into that violence or into that battle, and then still walk away and go to the refrigerator and get a drink, you know. Your mind,
you are right. You are right.
It's not like
and just by the way, you are hurt, and this is the crap in the video game. Get cover or find cover. You are hurt. What the? Sorry for that. It is not like that in the real world. It is not.
No. Ask any veteran what the difference is between playing a video game and actually being immersed into it.
Yep.
And what you think you're going to be really like fearless and confident, and you're going to do
no.
And Peter, you know, I'm sure everyone makes mistakes that are, you know, almost the end of their life.
Fatal.
Very
Yep.
fatal. Yeah. And it can happen.
It is,
it
for
can
example,
happen like that, right?
that was the stupidest stuff in the world. I mean, not stupidest, but it was just random stupid test, just a test of pain tolerance. We were cadets, so not a big deal. We were making a chit chat, small talk in the at the bar, drinking. I was drinking a lemonade. Mate of mine, he got a beer, and I've got like there was the officer, and he just made my hand, okay. And I believed, because I was young and has no goddamn clue about the world and life, that it's some sort of way of saying hello to me, okay. And he made my hand just get to the with palm to the table, right? And he got the crazy ass very thick nail, just get it from outer of the palm right through my whole hand. And I was like, but I didn't get any sound. And then he just pushed it away. I was like, and he just clapped me to the arm. Okay, man, you passed the test of the pain. Out of nowhere. And it was normal, okay? And it's in special units. It was so crazy. It happened.
That's part of the things that they do to people to see what will happen, how they're going to react.
And I was like, but it hurts like hell. Holy crap. And then they get me like 100% alcohol with nothing, like no. And I was like, oh my God. Sometimes it hurts, I can make weather forecast, by some of my old wounds and all kind of that stuff. I can make a weather forecast,
Yeah. Yeah. Plus you have some enhancements too, right? Because of that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. And those people, those young guys,
how many years of military have you been involved in, Peter?
I'm still pretty much, but for active service, 25.
25, then plus now, calculate this. How many years with including time travel?
What? It will be hundreds of years. But that's the problem. In my physical body, it can be like just blink of eye, but it will be like, because flow of time, it's very complicated to correlate. Do you know what I mean? In different parts of the world, context of existence, timelines, realities, and so forth. And that's the problem. I want to say, what in the world happened? November 11th. Just by the way, 11/11. It means something. Don't ask me what, but something it definitely means. They opened the portal, huge portal, all over the place in New York. And it is such a tremendous amount of EM, electromagnetic noise, that the reactors and all kind of the equipment, it it needs a lot of juice. I mean, my bad, electricity. A lot of electricity. And my question, and they are those generators and reactors. They are crazy big. Yes, you can do so. You can transport them, but even with teleportation, you need to drill, I don't want to say tunnels, but create the whole complex and drill something, this complex, without notice. Yes, you can teleport something, but create this complex without being noticed. I highly doubt so. I don't buy this story. No. Holy crap. Very good friend of mine, he told me that they are moving away from New York because of that. Because crazy things start to happen in New York in like last few months. And it looks like that, like they were testing this portal, right? And they start to get it like full work in order. November 11th. You maybe know why exactly this date. I don't know. Maybe because it is like for once, I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Well, what I told you earlier is that a friend of mine was in New York, contacted me around the 3rd of this month and said that Mark Mobius was doing a workshop, which he was invited to, some kind of presentation, and now you're saying that this portal opened, which I knew something was going to happen when he was there.
Mark Mobius, this crazy guy.
We were also looking at this guy Mobius, his name was from France, Jean Girard. He's the one that created all the cartoons for, I think it's Marvel.
Yeah. It is whole culture. It's pop culture. Marvel. Holy crap! It's pretty much like the what it is, the pop culture of Star Wars and all kind of that stuff. Yeah, you are right.
It's huge what he did, and he literally called himself Mobius.
Oh no. No.
And he's the one that did all that crazy artwork. Like unbelievable, like incredible. Let me show you some of his art.
Okay.
Obviously let me see. He's still alive. No, he died in 2012. Supposedly, I won't say that he. Let's take a look at his work.
It's crazy.
Look at this stuff.
It's crazy.
I mean, he obviously was seeing things.
Oh yeah, he was. It was like they were like things from another reality, yep. Or context of existence.
These giants.
I mean, What's the deal with ancient giants? Why they are like that for us? We didn't do anything bad to them.
Look at this enormous cat.
No,
we can do that. Michael's not here.
That's my question. Why they are upset at us? We didn't do anything bad to them.
So is that where they're from? This is also the Silver Surfer. I've talked about that a lot. He created that. The concept of it. Look at this weird stuff. I mean, it's so they brought this reality here. This
Give me
is
a second.
Mobius.
You mean like because of mindset? I mean, so many people. It's a lot. Sorry, mindset. My bad. Because of hive mind, they created.
Oh, definitely. I mean, look at how they integrated, like you said, the cartoons and there's the rabbits that we were seeing.
Oh
Look
no!
at this. I mean, this is all the
Oh
sci-fi, all the sci-fi imagery that we've looked at.
yeah, they are definitely
I mean,
sites
like
from.
Jimi Hendrix,
Yeah,
or Jimi Hendrix is a part of that reality.
it can be.
There's
Yeah,
these
once you
people.
create strong enough hive mind, yeah, bad news bears.
So they're possibly even creating a bridge between that reality and this reality.
Oh yeah.
There's a hive right there. This looks like an ancient alien, right?
Yeah, you are right. And that's my question. What's the deal with ancient giants? We never did anything bad to them, or did we?
Oh well, obviously that they just like to be in control and manipulate things. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like.
But you said that all of them are very old, you mean?
Yeah, they're very old.
So you mean like pretty much they are much older than us, not the civilization, but like mankind, you mean?
Oh, definitely older than mankind. Yeah, they're from a whole other genetic pool. I'm pretty sure they're not of the same genes. If anything, they made it. Some of them may have, added some of their genetics to humans. Maybe early on.
Ah, so you mean that's the reason why they are so upset? That pretty much we are trying to invade, how can I say it? Their space, like their backyard, pretty much, if we want to call it that way.
Yeah, we're kind of in their way. Maybe they want to be out more and they can't. And we're bothering them or we're not obeying them, we're not worshiping them. Like these things, these
Oh, yo, 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 yo.
yeah, you don't want to deal with them.
No, definitely not. It will be bad news bears.
Yeah, now see this, so it looks like a hybrid. I mean, he clearly was communicating. This is like a galactic forum that he was connecting to, or
Yeah, you are right. Those
yeah,
are
so
guys from
more than one.
Galactic.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So there's the train stations. You always see train stations too, Peter, right? They love using train stations.
Yeah, you are right.
So, but that's the artist that lived. I mean, what year was it that he was around? Yeah, so he died in 2012, but he was already old by then, 73. So he lived through World War I, World War II. That's his name is Mobius, and then we have this Mark Mobius.
Aye, that's crazy.
Right? And there was a picture of him that I had earlier. But yeah, so Mark Mobius was doing something right before you said all of this would happen. And well, that's that portal. So we had a portal in England, now we have one in London, and there was a lot of protesting happening in London too.
Yeah.
And we know that what's going on over there, and then plus over here. In New York City, there's a lot happening. I mean, aside from the overpopulation, but something happened too with, and I noticed it, is when you had this influx of immigrants from South America. And I've said this and I'll keep on saying it until someone says, I know what that is. It feels like they're fleeing. I know that people say, well, they're coming in politically or whatever, but literally there are beings that following them here. Some of them look like these weird looking witches because I've seen them. I keep seeing them and I know where it's coming from. It's new. It hasn't been here before. They're kind of like gray looking, and it looks like they're flying and wearing like ragged looking witches garments, we would call it. I've seen them, but I've never seen them really seen them before. I see, I've seen like other types of entities as sort of like witches, but these are very distinct. And then, of course, I've seen chupacabra and some other things that are coming from and other kinds of ETs that are not very nice that are coming along with them. And I'm thinking that they're tormented by these ETs. Like there's something happened, Peter, south of the border. I don't know what. Someone opened a portal or conjured something, or they did some serious rituals and they unleashed a lot of really negative beings. So there must be a portal there as well. He's still there?
Yeah, definitely, you are right. Because portals are, as I said, all over the place, all over the world. It's so crazy.
Yeah, new creatures showing up, and it was like, okay. And because, I have to be careful how I deal with them. I don't know. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they lost? Are they here and they don't know what's going on and they're reacting? Or are they, I have to assess it before, what I say or do, because there's obviously repercussions if I just, make a quick decision and say something.
No,
or do something.
I understand. I understand you.
There's another thing that I wanted to share. Let me see if I have it queued up. Because we started talking about the wars and all that type of activity, but there was, let's see. All right, I have it. This is also, constantly things are coming out whether they like it or not. A guy finally confessed to be the second shooter in the assassination of JFK, and he's from France.
Interesting.
Well, we sort of know who that is, right? But we can't.
Yeah, you
someone
are
we
right.
know, someone that's personally know, but we, they don't want to be public, obviously. But it's connected to them. But this is like a surrogate of them, and
yeah.
And so,
So
you
crazy.
see this whole really weird thing, and he admitted on his deathbed after 60 years, and it's supposedly related to, he called himself Frenchie, or others knew him as Frenchie.
Yeah.
He was, his last name is Pujabet. I can't say Pujabet. I don't know if it's silent, was the grandson of a Frenchman who made his fortune in Mexico and was the son of a tobacco magnate. He was a self-styled businessman with 6 children from 2 marriages. He collaborated with Nazis during the occupation in France and became a spy, a CIA agent recruited by Alan Dulles and the agency's director. His actions have been subject of considerable number of reports and investigations in intelligence community, both American and French. He was reportedly picked up by a car at his hotel in Dallas, dropped off near a car park behind the grassy knoll. He apparently then unlocked the boot of a car, took out a rifle and positioned himself behind a fence. Then he lined Kennedy up in the head and fired before walking away nonchalantly. Fujibay, however, was poorly paid for in his part, ended his life in destitute. His family now reportedly wanted the truth to come out. And so it was related to a coup. Over the years, numerous theories have been put forward to try to discover the identity of the second shooter, a coup of the KGB or Fidel Castro's Cubans at the height of the Cold War, a coup by anti-Castro group in Miami, and cahoots with mafia, and a move by the ultra-right eager to start the war in Vietnam have all been suggested. The CIA is also theorized by some to have been involved, whose powers had been curtailed by the president and whose director had been sacked. The agency reportedly also held a grudge against Kennedy's for his lack of support during the disastrous Bay of Pigs operation. And so I remember a while back that you had mentioned this. And also look at this, in 1968, Clay Shaw, a Louisiana businessman, was even convicted of being involved in the death. So is this Shaw House?
Yeah, you are right. They were involved in that. Partially.
And that's why they're angry, because did this one actually get convicted, or did he get released?
Yeah, you are right.
Released?
Released, yep. Holy moly.
Yep. So, I mean, it eventually comes out, doesn't it? We'll talk about something and it will eventually come out.
Eventually, I like that.
Another weird thing, there is the whole babushka thing, and I was working with someone and saw that I was, I know that as a child, I have this one picture with a scarf, and I never really wore scarves over my head, but they took me as a young girl. I watched this happen, and then they aged me, and then and then there was some kind of change or something happened, and then I think they used me as the babushka woman, and then there were the CIA operatives that were around it, but the babushka woman actually looks like this woman that was, I think, a Rothschild or something.
Yep, so you are right.
So I'm confused of how this happened and why it was almost like they used me, and they used another person as a shooter, but they used me as well, misused both of us in this whole process. Which, here again, I was a young child that didn't know anything what was going on, and then I don't know if they used my energy, or how does that work, Peter?
It's partially energy, partially surrogate, and all kind of that stuff, you know.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Let's say energetic profile, you know.
Energetic profile. Yeah, but it's sort of like this, considered the surrogate program.
Yep. More so.
Crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. What should we consider crazy, and what we should not? You know, crazy times. Why you are smiling? It's.
I don't know what else to do. I mean, it's the whole thing where you're watching something play out and you're saying, what is happening here? And I see this happen with regressions, and seeing people associated with other people that they're like, I didn't know I was involved in that. But it's there. Like you can't make it up. It's actually this memory of, and when you start seeing it, like, and then you start remembering more details about it. You say that's, and then you wonder why your life is just like in disarray or chaos, or why you have enemies that you never thought that you had met. And so, or why
that's true.
And then all these people that come to me and they're like, oh yeah, I'm people are watching me. I see they're showing up and everything. And it's like, well, it has to be more involved. They're not just doing this just because of your DNA. There had to have been something that you've done somewhere else that is causing them to come after you. And so that's the hard part to explain to people, which is it's really hard to wrap your head around it if you've not thought about how the 20 and back program works, or the secret space program works, or how that people are actually extracted at a young age and then used for different things.
Slash misused. Maybe.
Misused, as you say.
It's a better term for that, just by the way. At least from my point of view, you know what I mean.
Yeah, so what can we do regarding these bleed-throughs, and what's the ACIO doing trying to resolve this?
We are trying to stop that because there will be at the Christmas time, pretty much, you know, like let's say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's Chanukah, you know, time, Chanukah Hebrew feast. From 7th to 15th December this year it will be, if I'm not mistaken. And because there is this energy, so it will start in December 7th, and Christmas Eve, aka December 25th. And there is this window, pretty much like time window, do you know what I mean? And they start to, or let's say they tried to, elites, as you said, great research, but not only elites, but especially those bad corporations, Monarch, Mobius, you know, Murkoff, they want to get the things back to their old way, old order, do you know what I mean? And it will be good if nothing will happen, or let's say if we will hold the line as we know as we are using it in military terminology, you know.
What about the 88-year mission? How does that impact what's happening now? And will we see more of that coming in to help assist the resolve or prevent them from getting what they want?
From this mission, that's a kind of problem. We've got only one solid bleed through, and this bleed through will be through this time also called sweet spot. Okay, so once we will be able to hold still to those like 2 weeks or so, more than 2 weeks, we will be fine. But I think we've got enough for today. So what do you think?
So you're saying, are you kind of saying that we're not allowed to talk about the mission too much because it's in motion?
This is the one aspect of it, and second aspect of it, it's the whole sweet spot, if we want to call it that way. We can make another whole separate show of it. What do you think, huh?
Okay, sure. That sounds good, Peter. So I guess this is a wrap for the show, and I want to say thank you everyone for listening. But Peter, do you have any other last words? And that the ACIO is working on this problem, these bleed throughs. We want people to hold the intention of supporting what we're doing, and all you soldiers out there, we know there are many that are listening, whether you're aware that you're participating or not. We ask for your assistance. And go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for our show today. I am really happy that you gave me another opportunity to be here on your channel, and I think we've got another good piece of intel coming up. So thank you once again, Jessica, and I'm looking forward for next time. Stay safe and bye bye.
And thank you very much, Peter. And thank you to all of our listeners. Continue to listen. We will be continuing to work on whatever it is that needs to be addressed and providing you information so you can hold the highest intention for humanity. I also want to express gratitude and thank you for those who are helping out in many different ways and coming forward to offer assistance in different ways as well, and financially. So have a blessed day. Until next time.
You have been watching Disclosures. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Visit www.acio-official.org and www.readingsbyarael.com to book a private session with Jessica. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you, and until next time.